So we are on exercise number 2 in appendix page 8 in book 4 of Upper Hands Piano. So while in exercise number 1 we were playing the same notes but different fingers, in exercise number 2 we're playing different notes, same fingers. 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, etc. So in this exercise, you are focusing on the finger numbers 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 in whatever key you're in. It's always going to be the same fingering. Right and left both playing 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, etc. Okay, so in this exercise, we're going to start it in the key of C. Play it one time forte and then one time piano, and when you play it the second time piano, try to make sure that you have an even tone so that you don't have some notes that you can't hear and some notes that are way too loud, but that they're all piano, that they're all about the same. If they're not, try it again loud and then try it again soft. Okay, so here we go. Exercise number 2, appendix page 8, book 4. First forte, then piano. So some of my notes were a little bit louder than others, and I'm really going to be striving for making even my four fingers have the same dynamic as everything else. I heard my four fingers playing a little bit loud. They were kind of overcompensating. So just kind of watch for that. I mean, we're not looking for perfection here, but we're looking for control. Okay, so this exercise ends with a series of 4 chords. So we're going to go right to the C seventh. This is not a major seventh. Major seventh would be that one, but the C7, which has a flatted seventh. And then in each of these chords, you're going to move one note between them. So to get from the C7 to the C minor 7th, I'm just going to change my E to an E flat. So I'm flatting the 3. And then to get from the C minor 7 to the C minor 6, I'm going to take my flatted 7 here and bring it down a half step to the 6th. Okay, and then to get from the C minor 6 to the C diminished 7th, I'm just going to take my 5th here, my G, and flat that one a half step down. Okay, so it's interesting to note that to get from the C minor 6 to what we call a C diminished 7, we have the same note on the top. And that's because in a diminished chord, a diminished 7th, the 7th is doubly flatted. So here's a major 7th, a 7th, and then a diminished 7th would be here. It's also known as a 6th. So that's a little confusing. If we're talking about a C minor 6, we would say C, E flat, G, A. But if we're talking about a C diminished 7th, we call this a B double flat, and that's because each one of the notes has to skip a letter. So this is some kind of a C, some kind of an E, some kind of a G, and some kind of a B. It has to skip a letter. So I wrote it as a C, E flat, G flat, A, but truthfully it's a B double flat. I hope that that makes sense. I try to kind of you know, I'm on the fence between whether I want to, you know, teach you exact music notation and the way that we think about it in music theory, or whether I just want to make it easy for you and accessible. And usually easy and accessible wins out. But I want you to understand that this is a B double flat, and then you can just kind of think of it as either a B double flat or think of it as C, E flat, G flat, A. Alright, however it makes more sense to you. Hope I haven't confused you any more than you might have already been. Alright, thanks so much. Bye-bye.